Hello, hello.
Hi, good morning.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
I'm well. I'm very good. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
It's a
nice to be here with you. And same,
Sorry.
so nice to be here with you.
Oh, yes, yes, and you too. Uh, it's always a moment of curiosity when we meet for the first time. So it's lovely. Thank you.
Exactly, exactly. So once again, welcome here. Um, it's so lovely to be here with you. Um, how should I call you? Is this all right to say Finn? Is it okay?
It's Fin is okay. Finan is the pronunciation of the word. Finan is like a long,
Okay.
yeah.
And
We
where are you
like a
from?
long. Sorry.
Where are you from?
Oh, southwest of Ireland, Killarney.
Okay.
Where are you?
I'm from Romania.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep. Very good.
Uh, Before we begin, I just want to check, with you if you're okay to record this session. Because
Yes.
actually, the session is going to be recorded, it's going to be confidential. And actually, it's only going to be shared with my mentor. So I'm going to be evaluated.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah. Very
Thank
good.
you. Thank you.
I'm happy with that.
Thank you. So,
Okay.
would it feel supportive to take a few moments to learn together before we start? Okay. So, if it feels okay for you, I'm going to invite you to gently close your eyes if you feel comfortable, or just soften your gaze. Yeah. And take a slow, conscious breath in and a slow breath out. And just take a few moments to arrive here in this space. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go. Just be present. And see if you can notice where your body is in contact with the ground of the chair, your feet, your seat, maybe your back. And if you see any tension, or maybe ease, or any sensation that's calling for your attention, just acknowledge it without trying to change anything. Yeah, allow yourself to just be here and now. And when you feel ready, you can slowly open your eyes and lift your gaze. Welcome back.
Yeah. I needed that.
I know sometimes
Uh,
I need it.
yeah. We're, um, we're going on a bit of a trip once this hour or 50 minutes or whatever is over. We're going on a bit of a trip. So we've been very busy, myself and my wife, just getting ready. Yeah.
Okay. When would you like to share your intention for our session today?
Yes, it's not very specific, but I've come to realize that all the significant things I've been exploring have all got to do with my early family, with the family I grew up in.
Mhm.
And there's a curiosity in me about how and uh, where I am and how I fit into the family with various members of the family and so on. And so that's my general curiosity.
Okay.
And perhaps slightly in the extended family as well, going back a generation or so, my grandparents.
Okay.
Because all the significant things seem to be centered around those people and my relationship with them or a lack of some need that I would have had. Um, because as I grew up in that family, uh, emotional expression was pretty much non-existent, and suppressed, in other words. Um,
Yeah.
and it's taken me quite a long time to, I suppose, acknowledge that and move beyond it somewhat insofar as I can. Uh, yeah,
Okay. And as you speak about that,
yeah.
what are you noticing into your body?
I'm noticing my heart beating a little bit faster. Yeah.
Okay. And if you take a couple of seconds, to check in with your body, is there any emotion in there? Is there emotion uh, present?
No, there is nothing very strong in any case, nothing that stands out in any way.
Okay.
I still feel that that I'm still a bit coming down from the fuss of getting ready to travel. Yeah.
Mm.
Uh, and yeah, I don't sense any emotion coming up in me there.
Yeah, but I noticed that you close your eyes, trying to go deeper.
Curiosity that keeps popping up for me is it seems to be there now again. I'm curious as to why I don't find a very strong connection emotionally as I remember about my own mother,
Mm.
uh, whereas I do with my father. Uh, and in the past, I would have got very emotional thinking about my father.
Okay.
Uh, but that has reconciled, I think, within me, whatever emotion I had there. So it was my mother that looked after us day to day. She was virtually a slave to the family,
Mm.
in an old style, and looked after our everyday needs. Whereas father was a very distant figure and isolated, I suppose. He was isolated in that sense. Um, and on the weight of things, I think my emotion, my connection to my mother should be much stronger, but I don't feel it. We sacrificed our whole life for us first, as a family. And that question is still in my mind a little. Yeah, let's see what's coming up for me this morning.
Yeah, and I see a lot of emotions rising up while you are speaking. May I ask you if this emotion could speak, what it would say to you?
would say that it's okay to be curious about it, and yeah, doesn't seem to be much beyond that really there. I mean,
I see you're closing your eyes again and checking in with your body. Yeah.
the question arises in my head: am I putting some kind of a wall up there? Am I? It's just a question. Is that what I'm doing? Is that the barrier? Is that the reason why I don't sense that emotion? Um,
Is that a familiar feeling?
can you repeat that?
Is that a familiar feeling for you? This kind of curiosity and trying to see what's the emotion behind.
Well, it's familiar for me in context.
Okay.
But as I think about my mother and uh, yeah, maybe so as well. Then with other members of my family. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With the two brothers and one sister. So that curiosity is there about one of my brothers and my sister. But with my second brother, that curiosity isn't there because I know I had a deeper relationship with him, perhaps. That in some ways some ways he took the place of my father, maybe in my head, because he was the oldest, and I looked up to him, communicated with him more regularly, and so on. That curiosity is there as well. Then about the the younger brother, who's older than me. He's the younger of the two, and I was the youngest in the family. So my connection would be with my oldest brother and my father, so much with the other. So I'm wondering why, and still the puzzle was there that when the brother that I wasn't close with died, it released a deep emotion that kind of shocked me almost, because I didn't realize it was there, but it was at some level that I never touched really much before, or at all, maybe at all, and maybe not since either. Well, perhaps once or twice, but yeah. So at some level, there's something goes on at some level that I'm not in touch with or able to think about in some way. And so maybe that's the level that my mother was at as well. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Can you
So
check in with your body for a second and see what's the emotion that it's coming up while you are telling all this? And make some space, allow it to be.
I could feel I could feel it something across my chest a little.
Yeah.
um, Not so strong, but definitely there. Saying something like "I want to be heard" or I don't know.
I'm here and I hearing you, you know?
Yeah,
See you.
there's sort of emotion there. All right, coming from deeper down.
May I ask you something, Finan?
Mm,
What is under this curiosity? Because curiosity, it's a mind concept, you know, searching for answer.
mm.
What is it under? What it's in here into your body?
What is it?
Into
Um,
your body, yeah. So curiosity, it's from our mind. It's a mental concept.
oh, I see. Yes,
What is behind it?
behind it. Oh, okay. Yes, I understand you now. What is behind it is some sort of a need for emotionally felt, I think.
Need of emotional felt. Okay.
Yeah, and I can feel something. I can feel it coming up from deeper down in the tummy area, from the belly area. Yeah.
Would you please make some space for this feeling, for this emotion, and just stay with it? See if there is any energy shift in there. It's moving.
Definitely something shifting and moving on upwards. It seems to be something that doesn't have a normal voice. By that I mean maybe that the words aren't able to relate to it in some way. It doesn't have the words, maybe.
Mm. As you said, sometimes we only need to, to be held, to have some space to be heard and seen. Yeah.
Can you say that again for me, please?
Sometimes this is all we need, to feel that we are heard, that we are held, that we are seen.
Um,
How do you feel right now?
I can feel in some way more of a connection to that brother. Something is definitely has definitely opened. Like as if oh,
How old are you when this happened, Finan?
you asking me you refer to this happening, what do you refer to?
I was asking how old were you when that happened?
And what happened? I don't understand that thing that happened. What do you mean by what happened?
The emotion that you encapsulated regarding your brother.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Um, very young, maybe. I don't know how young. Um, and there was one time that seems to stick in my memory that
Mm.
I would maybe have been about 8 or 9, and somebody was giving me a hard time in the school, an older fellow, and I requested help from my brother,
Mm.
and he did give the help, and it sorted out the situation. But for some reason, that's the only meaningful interaction I can remember having with him from those younger years. Outside of that, he was always a very remote figure. Would have been 4 or 5 years older than me, which is quite a lot when you're young.
Mm.
And, yeah,
How do you feel right now, remembering this specific episode?
I feel he looked after me on that occasion. And saying that it rises an emotion in me, you know, just saying it out loud.
Just allow it to be, give it some space. How do you feel?
It's difficult. I find it difficult acknowledging that he looked after me. Um, and realizing that in some way he maybe had an emotion for me, a love for me, or whatever.
Is there any other possibility for what happened?
Once again, you're referring to um, cutting off the emotion. Is that yeah,
Yes, yes, because
um,
this is yeah about yes.
it's possible. It's possible that I was jealous of him in some way. It's possible that I instigated it. Um, it's possible he did too, of course. I don't know. Um, it's possible that we were just too different in ages to communicate. Yeah, so that there are several possibilities that there.
Yeah.
But I think I sense that having not intellectualizing the emotion is it's not such a sealed container as I thought. It is something else that I can allow to be there without understanding it.
Yes.
And it is there. Yeah, that there's a whole level of rawness, comes to mind, rawness about that level, but something very earthy and I don't know, I can't describe it much. It's meaty or earthy or very uh, very raw, very
Mm.
unpolished. So yeah, I don't know. Okay.
What was the belief you created at that time? Because there is a belief in there.
Belief is there that I've always had a belief I didn't get on with him, and that we lived in very different worlds.
Mm.
in our view of the world. And couldn't really hang out with him much, either when I was young or as I grew older as well. Yeah, so my belief was maybe my own belief shut me off from it. And well, yeah,
Yeah, but is this belief still serving you?
still there, but maybe not as strong. Yeah, maybe I realized that it's not as firm a belief as I originally thought, and that it may be completely wrong.
Mm.
I also studied as an Alexander technique teacher
Mm.
uh, in recent years. I should add. Uh, Things that Alexander said is that one of the major causes of our difficulties is beliefs and conceptions or misconceptions, maybe. And here we have it again.
Yes. How does it feel into your body, just to hear yourself saying that?
I'm easier in my body.
Mm.
And I know overall, I find that this process, since I started, um, I find more of a sense of ease coming to me, just generally speaking. I can feel things have shifted in some way.
What do you
And
mean?
again, I feel it this morning as well, that something else has shifted and the meanings have changed a bit for me in what I've experienced this morning. Like other mornings,
Mm.
even though at the start of the session I couldn't see that anything was going to
No.
develop, I suppose.
I think that the question would be, what would you be without that belief? You know? Yeah.
I would have had happier times with my brother. I'd have been more open. So I've always thought it was his beliefs that made him separated him from me. So I have to question that now and wonder is that my own beliefs separated me from it. And is that the case with everybody?
Yeah. Now you made me curious, and I'm going to ask you, if I may. No, that's a very, very straight question of Katie Byron Katie. Is it true? Just asking yourself, is it true? Yeah.
And what you're saying is, I can ask myself that question about any of my beliefs.
Yeah.
Is it true? Yeah. Okay.
I see a smile on your face.
Yeah. Well, the next thing that comes is there's a judgment in these beliefs.
Mm.
Behind the belief, there's a judgment. I'm judging by believing what I believe. There's a judgment. I have made a judgment about the other person, and I have judged that I, in some way, am better than the other person.
Yeah. Yeah. Just stay with it for a while. Yeah. I see you nodding your head. What shifted in there?
For saying that, it makes me realize
Mm.
the difficulties I've created for myself.
Yeah. Is it true? And how does it make you feel, and check in with your body?
It makes me feel a bit foolish. But in a good way. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Find an ease in my body now that maybe wasn't there.
Yeah.
And it's that
How do you feel right now? Can you just check with your body and see how do you
we
feel?
are running.
Yeah.
I feel I feel possibilities now that weren't there when we began. Possibilities for meaning and for connection, and maybe for healing, perhaps.
Yeah. What about the judgments, Finan?
Uh, Judges come up again and again in recent times.
Who's judging who?
Well, I'm judging others, I'm judging myself, but my judgments are not as harsh as they may have been at one time. I'm more inclined to give myself a break about the mistakes I have made and the judgments I have made. You know? When I met the idea that in one of these sessions as well, that the judge in itself is not necessarily a bad persona or sub personality or whatever they're called. And it's there for a reason as well, that judgments may not always be wrong, but definitely the beliefs and judgments we have about people sometimes need to be questioned.
And if I may say, need to be seen, to be heard, and to be held, because it is a part of us. How does it land for you?
But the belief from is that, yeah, is that what you said?
So I said that this judgmental part of
Yes.
us also need to be held, to be seen, to be heard in order to be integrated. It's there because this part of us is still serving us.
Um, well, that
Mm.
that is um, that just surprises me a little again. Um, the judge needs to be held and heard because I think of judgment as being harsh and cold.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's part of me too.
it is.
Okay.
Because actually, that part is not our sibling or our partner or our neighbor, it's just a part of us. Yeah,
Thank you. It makes it a bit easier again, you know, just realizing or hearing that said and realizing it and adding it in. Yeah, it needs to be seen. Judge needs to be seen, needs to be heard, and needs to be held. Okay.
and finally, or not finally, to be loved. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. It's part of me and who I am. And
exactly. How does it land it for you, Finan?
it feels good.
Mm.
Feels complete somehow. It feels whole. It feels loving. It feels connection. Yeah. 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 and it feels good.
Feels good.
Feels good in and brings some sort of an emotion along with it.
I'm really grateful for that. Really,
Yeah.
really grateful. Do you feel that your intention for today was met because you came in here with a lot of curiosity?
I feel it has been more than met, really, my intention. Yeah, because it was very vague. And it, uh, it just makes me realize also that there are layers and layers of the personality, I suppose, and investigating, you know. It also uh, shows me the value of this process. Thank you.
I'm so grateful that you open up, and share all this with me. It was really great to witness, and I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you for facilitating, I suppose, and guiding and making it possible. Um, and of course, your skill in the process, your patience. Thank you.
I'm going to stop the recording now, but I want to talk with you for a couple of seconds just to express my gratitude.